I have a video uploading right now. It's kind of spicy. I don't know. It's probably going to be a biased opinion. I'm sorry for it, if it bothers anybody. But, these are just questions I have. I have questions. And so I talk about my questions. That said, I told a coworker today that I'm really working on honing on my responses and honing in on being more observant. I don't even think that's a word. Being, what's the best word? Being more in control of myself and my emotions now that I have a better understanding of the magnitude of which it goes. And God's kind of helping me through that. I'm not perfect by any means. I'm not a Tucker. I am not a Candace. Those are shoes I'll never fill, but I respect them. I respect so many people. And so that said, one thing that came to me before I left to go to work was, don't pay attention to who is saying it. Pay attention to what you're hearing and how it makes you feel. And that's really, really big for me, is I pay attention to what people are saying and how it makes me feel. Not saying that I am responsive to it, or I kind of go into it with an open mind, but in representing what I'm receiving, right? In meaning of, for example, this Tucker Carlson and Mike Huckabee interview. Like, it's hard for me in reference to what I'm feeling from what I'm hearing, is him totally dodging all the questions that Tucker's asking and redirecting. Like, that's hard for me. I'm not feeling great about it. It's not giving me warm and fuzzies, right? Especially now, come to find out, I didn't know he was the U.S. I didn't know he was representing the U.S. That's even more concerning, because, like, it's hearing him talk. It's like, I would never even thought it, truthfully. And so that's a little concerning to me. But he does like to, be at the pleasure for Trump. He follows Trump's orders. So there's that. So that said, like, I look at things from that angle, and this is me. Okay. I'm just speaking on behalf of myself. All right. This helps me get through my day-to-day activities in reference to just honing in on people around me, what people are saying, things of that nature, and how it makes me feel, right? Because I have control of how things make me feel. And when you've been in a world for many, many years where you're surrounded by people that intentionally did things to make you feel bad about yourself, it's really a sensitive thing for you. And so for me to get to the other side of that, the only thing that I could do was learn how to be intentional with what I surrounded myself with in reference to what I'm receiving and how it made me feel. In a world so often enough that just does things intentionally, because we're all under psyops in very many different ways, to make you feel bad, to make you feel crappy, to make you question your thoughts, make you question your opinions, make you question your feelings, make you question your emotions, make you question your worth, make you question your value, make you question if you're God's chosen one. Okay, so seeing as we live in a world right now that does such things, right, intentionally, once you take control of how you allow things to affect you and how you allow them to make you feel, they no longer have power over you. No one. No place, no person, no thing, no matter who they are, no matter what it is. Period. Because truth be told, nothing should have power over how you feel. Because you have control of how you feel. You do. You truly do. And you have to ask yourself what it is you're feeling, why it is you're feeling it, and what it is that's making you feel that way. And then once you get to the answer of those questions, you then can start working through the areas of your life to kind of figure out how to get to a place where you feel better about yourself, or whatever it is you're going through right now. Because it's different for everyone. It's different for everyone. Everybody's feelings, everybody's emotions, everybody's thoughts, everybody's opinions are all very different. They're very different. And so once you can start kind of honing in on yours, you can start kind of working through creating a life here on earth that is nothing but chaos, deceit, corruption, money, darkness, evil, all these different things, right? And you can kind of go through a world with all these different things floating around simultaneously, but still feel good about yourself. Still feel good about being in this type of world and not allowing it to take you in a negative headspace. Because once you get to a negative headspace, it's really hard to get outside of that. I mean, truth be told, I believe it's impossible to get outside of it unless you do some healing. And you heal by working through these questions and figuring out the answers for you, because they're different for everyone. They're different for everyone. And I'm happy to help anybody in any way I can. But it's one of those things that, you know, you got to figure out on your own. You just do. Sorry, my contacts are bothering me. But I love you guys. Sweet dreams. I commend Tucker. He went through a lot to do this interview, and they put him through a lot. And I know he just fights for humanity and God, and he carries faith, and he wants everybody to get along, and he wants everybody to be able to live in a world where there's not so much hate and pain and, you know, killing and I'm with them. That's where I'm at. That is where I'm at. But then you see these interviews and this propaganda in mainstream media, and then Poppy T, it's one of those things. I don't know. I know that the trajectory of things is going to be very unique, and it's going to be very difficult, and it's going to be important for you to have control of your mind and the trajectory of the future. That I can assure you. You're going to have to take control of this. You don't fight hate with hate. You don't fight, you know, gossip with gossip. You don't fight he said, she said with he said, she said. You fight it by love. And you fight it by loving yourself and walking away sometimes. Sometimes things are just, you gotta walk away and let it play out how it plays out. Because there's just people in this world that are not willing to face the truth. The truth within themselves, the truth within the reality, the truth in God, the truth in who Jesus is, and the truth in Christ, right? And it's just one of those things that it's just, and I know, again, I try to not hone in so much on religion because I am a very religious person, but I carry such a unique spirituality and I carry such a unique faith that it's so hard for me not to talk about it, because it's what saved me and it's what saves me every day. And given the world that we live in right now and the trajectory of it, it's what's going to save the world, right? And so agree to disagree, and I respect everybody. I really, truly do. And I got no judgment here. I know a lot of people judge the heck out of me. That's why I told my girlfriend at work, I'm like, golly, I wish everybody just wouldn't hold on to my every word. Or come and talk to me. Come and talk to me, man. Instead of judging or pretending that you don't know who I am or whatever, like, just come talk to me. You got questions for me? I got answers. I'll try. I'm an open book, right? But it's just, I say right now, I changed from to right. But it's just one of those things where it's, people have so many questions when it comes to me, and I ask myself, well, if people have questions, why don't they just come and talk to me about it? Like, why don't you just come talk to me? If you have questions, come talk to that person instead of asking them from the back or doing all these things in the back. It's just weird to me. Why do we live in a world that does that? Do you guys ask yourself that? Or is it just me? Is it just me in this little world that asks these questions? I love you guys. Sweet dreams.